On your mark, get set. Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Kevin Durant, you should have left California.
This brownsexual upset me in having to bring this teenage idiot from Wisconsin into a sports conversation. Are you really surprised the Cowboys are giving up on Ezekiel Elliott?
Whoa. Hell no! Well, no one cares about baseball.
Bitch, are you for real?
Good morning and welcome to another edition of Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I am one half of that duo, Cole Johnson. The other half, and Brian Snow, will be joining me on location momentarily. Now, we will, of course, be talking about Selection Sunday. We'll be having Coffee with McCarthy, the bottom of our number one with no credential required. Mariah McCarthy. We will, in the hour number two, the bottom half of that one, talk, well, let me see, North Carolina basketball and the Panthers, of course. We'll be discussing all that with Jay Spivey as we do every Monday at the bottom of our number two. But we're at the top of our number one. And since we're at the top of our number one, let us go with the rip round. Now, I did tease saying that North Carolina, we will talk about them later. If you just have just woken up, they will not make it to the NCAA tournament, and they will not accept an invitation to the National Invitational Tournament. The coach of the team, Hubert Davis, he had this to say about, well, I guess you could say the disappointing season that North Carolina had. All season long, our focus and goal has been on being the best team we possibly can be and reaching our full potential to give us another opportunity to compete, play for, and win an NCAA championship. Although we no longer have that opportunity and this season wasn't what we had hoped for, I want to thank our players and staff for their hard work and love for Carolina basketball. Close quote. Mr. Davis, I thought the goal for North Carolina was to have another opportunity to compete, play for, and win another game versus Duke. We'll talk more about North Carolina's fate in our number two. Bill Self staying in college basketball. He is now back home safely after undergoing heart procedure. Now, the men's basketball coach has been discharged from the University of Kansas health system, and he's eager to rejoin the team on the sideline as they are now made their way into the NCAA tournament. And he wants to coach his defending national champions to another chip. Now, he was discharged yesterday after undergoing a heart procedure on Wednesday. He's now in Lawrence back home, and while his health meant that he had to miss his team's games in the Big 12 tournament, he's now on track to be with his staff and players for the upcoming tournament, either this Thursday or this Friday for them. So congratulations to Bill Self. I'm glad that you're healed up, and that's wonderful. And heart matters. It's nothing to play with, and it's nothing to joke about. So congratulations on your recovery, Bill. We hope that you and your team advances as far as they possibly can go. Now, switching things to the gridiron, and the Washington Commanders have decided to sign Darren Payne to an almost Aaron Donald-like contract. And now he is the recipient of the second biggest contract for a defensive tackle in NFL history. Now, the Commanders agreed to terms with Payne on a 4-year contract worth $90 million, and $60 million of those dogs are guaranteed. Now, the person who said this they're speaking on anonymity, and they said this to the Associated Press. Now, John Donald has signed a contract with the Rams that paid him $95 million with $65 million guaranteed. Now, Payne led the Commanders with a career-high 11.5 sacks. The Commanders now put the franchise tag worth $18.9 million last month, but the tag seems to have paid dividends for them. And just a moment. Before we go on to the next story in the whip around, I would like to welcome the founder, the creator, the man who is created one of the hottest sports shows, period, and probably the best sports show in the morning, Brian Snow, aka Snowman. How you doing, man?
I'm there. There it is. Good morning. How are y'all? This was a last. I can honestly tell you this was a last minute decision because I really, truly, want to test this, and I already hear the problem, so I'm making adjustments as we go. Along here.
All right.
How are you doing today, sir?
Good. Well, I'm doing wonderful for many reasons today. But yes, I'm doing good. I cannot complain at all. Yeah, this is a good day.
Me too. My Wildcats are dancing, and I'm feeling hyped.
Yeah, well, you should. You should. I mean, and I would be too if I were a Northwestern fan. And we will definitely talk about the bracketology and Selection Sunday and all of that in our number 2. Now, to end whip around, this is sort of, I'm having a little fun with this one. So the Clippers, of course, are on their way to having their own arena. They're moving out of Staples Center, Crypto.com, very soon. And they're scheduled to open this arena for the 2025 season. Now, the Intuit Dome, that's what it's called, will have many perks included with that. Increased leg room, uninterrupted wall of 4,700 seats behind the opponent's bench. But the feature that owner Steve Ballmer is excited about most, toilets. Yes. During the press conference Tuesday, he said at the construction site, quote, toilets. 1,160 toilets and urinals, 3 times the NBA average. We do not want people to wait in line. We want them to get back to their seats. Close quote. Well,
you have got to be kidding me.
I would love. I would. Listen, let me check. No.
You have got to be shaving me with that. Are you? I know you're. I already know you're not. I already know you're not.
Yeah.
With not only what was said, but how it was said.
Yes. Okay. And look, and I love Steve Ballmer, so I find this funny more than ridiculous. But go ahead.
I have a question for the Clippers, not necessarily Steve Ballmer, because he rescued them from a life of hell. If you want to
yes, he did.
He did from a life of hell. But I have a question for the Clippers in general. Let's see. In the immortal words of Janet Jackson, what have you done for the NBA lately?
Ouch.
I'll answer that question very swiftly. In 4 words, not a darn thing.
Well, I will say this. Mr. Ballmer, I'm glad you're excited to having all of those urinals and commodes, but your team better turn things around and win chips for LA soon, or else you'll have to slam and place your own team into one of those toilets. And that concludes today's whip around. All right, let's say hello to the Fanatic Feedback Zone, the lifeblood of the Snowman in the Morning Show. Let us start with Chris Deeds of the Fifth Down Sports Show. He says, I know it's early and it's Monday, but don't shoot the messenger here. First, we had Velma destroy Scooby-Doo, and now we have Bedrock destroy the Flintstones. It's a sad day for our childhoods. Well, I'd rather be a. Mhm.
I have the feeling that will be discussed on Thursday.
Well, I'll put it this way: I'd rather have it be a sad day for our childhood than dealing with who and what, because it's a sad day for our adulthood. Victor Locke, what's up, baby? He says, Deets, it's times like this we honor the first to be sacrificed to the PC machine. Pepe Le Pew. PC meaning politically correct.
You know what, Victor? I love you for that. Good morning. Good morning to you, Victor, into the Fanatics feedback zone.
Yes.
Cole's pushing all the buttons today. I don't even have my computer out here. I just set up camera plus mic, and I'm letting my EP do his thing.
All right.
But, yeah, Pepe Le Pew got. I never thought I would reference T-Pain, but I will reference him here. Pepe Le Pew got chopped and screwed.
Oh my goodness. I never thought we'd be talking about Pepe Le Pew on the sports show. Yep. Victor also says, good morning, Go Sports. Good morning to you, Victor Locke or VLock83. Now, he also says, now, can we squeeze some Hurricanes talk with Mr. Spivey? I think we would want to, just so he can rinse out the fact that he's going to talk about North Carolina basketball and the Panthers. So we might have to squeeze some Hurricanes talk. Although Deet says, no Hurricanes talk, stupid Whalers, Steelers. I understand that feeling, bro. That's exactly how I feel about the Oilers/Titans.
We're going to talk Hurricanes, and I have two very good reasons. I will bring them up when Spivey comes on.
Cool. Victor says, I'm a Carolina Hurricanes fan since the team began. Also, apologies for missing most of last week. Was a joint. Don't apologize for that, bro. We all need vacation time.
You were enjoying your vacation time and you were sleeping. Don't apologize for that.
Man, you were fresh, bro.
You got no reason to apologize.
No, man. He says, but boy, have I missed you guys. We'll miss you too, but we're glad you took some vacation time. We're glad you took some time off for yourself.
We miss you, Victor. I mean, hey, everybody needs some time for themselves.
Yeah. Ryan McCarthy, he'll join us at the bottom of our number one of no credentials acquired. He says, oh, you mean the same Hurricanes who were shut out by the New Jersey Devils last night?
Those.
Snowman on the road again? Yes, he is. A Pizzo, another one of our value guys. He says, Ramsey. Yes, we will talk about him the next segment. And I know you're excited. And the reason why he's excited because he's a Dolphins fan.
I know that, but who bleeping cares? Ramsey's not, I hate to say this, A Pizzo, but I'll get this out of the way. Ramsey's not going to do anything for the Dolphins.
Vince on Sports Show, he says, look, well, I've hated Hurricanes ever since it became them after they left Hartford. And my story is similar with you when it comes to Oilers. I all of a sudden, they were public enemy number one once they left Houston. So I know how you feel about that, Tris. I know exactly how you feel. And Victor says, look, well, I guess if the Clippers are going to be producing crap on the court, they need enough toilets to take store of it. Wonderfully said, sir. Well, we will get our esteemed partner back when we get back. And when we come back, A Pizzle mentioned Ramsey. Yes, we will talk about where Jalen Ramsey is headed and what the Rams got in return. You are watching and you're listening to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. We'll be back right after this.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
There's a 100% chance of a laugh thunderstorm. Four men with different viewpoints take a movie, show, or documentary and review it uncensored, unfiltered, uncompromised, with no holds barred. Join BS3, Wilkes, King Dog, and H-Rap B as they take on Hollywood their own way. BS3 Network proudly presents The Forecast, where H-Rap B always predicts,
if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And if you need it, get it from God.
Live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
The original Think drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
'Cause we take this job so serious. I'm sorry, I did that all wrong. I did that all wrong. My bad.
Do it right, will you?
Oh, God.
Brother guest, I'm so glad, Ryan, that you here on Coffee with McCarthy. I love you.
Oh, Lord, you beat me to it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. And who knows how we're going to have this Coffee with McCarthy coming up, how it's going to go, but at the bottom of this hour, we'll be joined by brother guest, or Ryan McCarthy, no credentials required.
No.
Back at on the Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. I'm Cole Johnson with Brian Snow. Yes, sir.
You ain't got no damn sense for that one. I love you. I love you for that. But every time I see that, I just think of a red-faced Bruce Pritchard coming out of the shadows and grabbing that microphone. When wrestling was fun to watch,
and he nailed it the very first time we saw him. I was like, oh my gosh! And of course, at the time we were young. I mean, we were in high school at the time.
Yes,
and. You know, we may not have gotten the full reference of it all, but we started to understand some things.
Oh yeah.
But when I looked at him, I saw that Brother Love caricature, and I said to myself, "Oh my gosh, this guy has nailed these televangelists, especially the ones in the South. I mean, nailed them."
I mean, how many times have we seen those Southern televangelists just pop on our screen if we just happen to be up late at night, with nothing to watch? This is when Sports Channel and Sports Vision was alive,
right?
And when you first discovered cable, you and I, Sports Vision was the thing. And later this week, I'll talk about the death of the regional sports networks. I'll do that later in the week. But he nailed it. Did didn't understand it at the time. Didn't understand the caricature. He was just funny as hell.
He was.
But now growing up, he nailed it.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is exactly how these televangelists act, and this is how they think at times. I'm like, yeah. And I love that he went in with that, and yeah, and he created such an enduring character that now lives so strongly on this show for sure. All right, so let us make a Pizzle happy, shall we? All right. Jalen Ramsey, you are a fool, man. Jalen Ramsey now is no longer a Jaguar. He is now no longer a Ram. Now he is a Dolphin. So the Rams agreed to trade the All-Pro cornerback to the Dolphins. And now the Rams reclamation project begins. I know this does not also make Playmaker happy. Of course, I think we'll talk about that with him a little bit more tomorrow. He gave me a Stewie slanted-eyed look when I mentioned it to him. But the Rams will receive a third-round pick for this year and tight end Hunter Long. Now, the deal will be finalized Wednesday, when the new league year begins. Your thoughts, sir?
Okay. First of all, who the hell is Jalen Ramsey? Second of all, he hasn't been good since the 49ers burned him in 2019 at Levi Stadium, and you know the exact game I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Third of all, and most importantly, who in the vital blue hell is Hunter Long?
Oh, wow.
Who in the vital blue, yellow-bellied, red-blooded hell is Hunter Long?
Well, for the Rams, I don't think that matters as much, although McVay probably has an idea what to do with them. But I don't think Hunter Long matters as much as having something that I think they have not really had much of in a while, and that is a draft pick. Or at least one within the first 3 rounds. So,
and they're gonna mess that up. What are we talking about here? We're talking about the Los Angeles Lambs. Or as Dana Stubblefield put it, and I know Playmaker is going to rip me to shreds, but Dana Stubblefield said this in a game in St. Louis in 1995. Same old Niners, same old
Rams. Oh, I remember that too.
You remember that game when we were busy kicking them in the ass.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry to be saying all this about the Los Angeles Rams, but Stan Kroenke did the city of St. Louis dirty, and now the team is going to do him dirty by screwing up this draft pick.
Well, for the Dolphins, they acquire a guy who went to the Rams in 2019 from the Jaguars. He produced 209 tackles for the Rams, 27 pass deflections, 10 picks in the 4 seasons with the Rams. They also had 20 tackles and 5 pass deflections in 6 postseason games with the Rams and helped them win Super Bowl 56 when they played it in their very home stadium in SoFi.
Yeah.
The 6-time Pro Bowler and 3-time first-team All-Pro has 452 total tackles in his career with 19 picks and 92 pass deflections. Now, obviously, he now becomes the Dolphins' best corner and creates a dynamic backfield along with the opposite corner, Xavier Howard, and safety Javon Holland. Now, in my opinion, I actually like Howard a little better, in my opinion. And I'm not throwing shade at Ramsey. That's just how I feel.
I know who Xavier Howard is. He plays well, but how is he going to mesh with Ramsey? Okay, that's my prevalent thought. How is he going to mesh with a player that is slowly in decline? I mean, I'm going to have Ram fans climb down my throat say that, but look at it. Look at his play from this past year. Hell, look at his play from the past 2 years.
Yeah. He got tested severely last year.
Yeah. Does the name Deebo Samuel mean anything to you, Jalen Ramsey? Does a Monday night game at Santa Clara mean anything to you?
Well, now it means you won't see him for the next 4 years. So there you go.
And now there are rumors flying around.
Mm-hmm.
The other half of that Rams backfield that got burned by San Francisco may head to San Francisco.
Hey.
These are just rumors that.
Interesting.
There is no truth to these rumors. There is no connection or confirmation. Confirmation is the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But the rumors are flying around, especially given the fact that the 49ers now have a haul of picks, compensatory picks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's looking better for that Trey Lance deal where they sacrificed a lot of picks because now they got a lot of them back.
Yeah.
Got a lot of them back, and they're going to, if I know how they think, and this has been the 49ers since I fell in love with them in 1981, those late round picks are going to turn into offensive linemen, and they're going to turn into gems.
Yeah, and then that's how good teams normally do it. They normally try to find those gems in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds of drafts. All right, so we have our guest that normally comes by every Monday morning at this time, waiting in the wings. So let's go to
radio in the house with us from Baltimore, Maryland. Stuck in my mind. Jazz, a.k.a. Wise, joining us. And I will do the cue for you since you're pushing all the buttons. Time to go sipping. This Coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
Oh yeah, we grinding them beans, sipping that coffee.
Lord have mercy. And now we are joined by the guy who applied his dulcet tones to his jingle. No credentials required, zone, Ryan McCarthy, and we are now entering Coffee with McCarthy. So what's the brew, sir?
Well, I picked up a new brew this weekend. I got the Wake the Bones, which is really great. It's a nice, like medium to dark blend, so it's a good time.
McCarthy's appearance is brought to you by Invader Coffee, a proud affiliate sponsor of Snowman in the Morning, and no credentials required. So if y'all go to snowmaninthemorning.com or snowmanmultimediasports.com, click on the logo that you will see later today, and make your purchase, all you coffee sippers, and I know plenty. So, how are you doing today, Mr. McCoffee? Old New Jersey Devils fan of mine.
I woke up because you guys were talking about Dolphins, so I had to wake up and sip some coffee. It's funny. I as soon as I heard that trade, I saw a social media post, and they were asking if Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey were the best duo, cornerbacks duo in the NFL. I'm like, they're not even the best cornerbacks duo
in the division.
What are you talking about?
Can I get a witness?
But it's not even the best in the division.
You, Mr. McCarthy, think the same way I do, and I said this question. I said this question earlier. Who the hell are they?
They're not even addressing the biggest problem, which is quarterback.
Oh, so I'm so glad you said that. So, Ayahuasca wants to play in the Meadowlands. What do you think?
Quit teasing us, dude.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly how I feel about Aaron Rodgers. It's like, why are you making it so difficult for the Jets? Because you're basically going to pull the rug from under them and say, "Nah, I'm going to stay in Green Bay." That's really how I feel about that. And I said on Cole Sports, I told your owner, I said, look, take your jet, dump Aaron Rodgers back in Green Bay, and get as far away from him as possible. But no, they had to be entertained by the lure of, in the words of Negro Knight, the bad man.
Who has a playoff game in a
who has been a bad man when it comes to January. The last many years.
The same quarterback who some think belongs in the pantheon of greats. I'm looking at you, Trey Larkins, and Trey is a good friend of mine, but doesn't know his quarterbacks. Let me explain. Let me take this time while I'm sipping my coffee and Ryan is sipping his to explain ayahuasca or whatever the hell that drug is. Aaron Rodgers hasn't done a bleep thing in January since 2011. When somehow, with an injury,
Ferry Jones 11
in the mouth, not mouth. He punched the Bears in the mouth, took him to the Super Bowl in Dallas, and it was cold in Dallas. And AT&T Stadium thought they could set the record for attendance, and they fell woefully short. And hasn't done a GD thing since. I'm sorry, Aaron Rodgers does not belong in the pantheon of greats. Now, if he winds up with the JETS Jets, my next 3 words are duck and cover.
Our beloved brother Wise El Jefe of Stuck in My Mind podcast fame, he says, right now anything is better than Zach Wilson. Yes, his name is Mike White.
Yeah. Sad but true. Honestly, sad but true. Anybody is better than Zach Wilson right now.
I agree with that.
I would put 2 extra words in there, but the folks in Chicago and Atlanta and Baltimore wouldn't be happy with us. And let me say hello to all of our affiliates joining us here. Mr. McCarthy, why don't they just start Mike White and get it over with? I have to know. Why don't
love me some I love me some Mike effing White, but it's he's not the answer. He's a solution. He's a temporary solution. He's a stopgap, but he's not the answer.
So who's the answer quarterback for the Jets?
It ain't Aaron Rodgers.
Hell no, it ain't Aaron Rodgers.
Not now at the moment. It's not, and sure as heck not Zach Wilson.
Right.
I'll take a one-legged Joe Theismann over Zach Wilson.
One-legged Joe Theismann. You will take him over us? Okay. So you will take. So what? So what you're saying to me is you'll take a one-legged Joe Theismann in his 70s than you would Zach Wilson now. What an indictment against Zach Wilson.
If I were the Jets, I'd go to the old Meadowlands. I'd take a one-legged Phil Simms after he broke his leg in 1990 over Zach Wilson. Okay, I'll take a back-broken Joe Montana in a Jets uniform. Thank God that didn't happen in 1994. But
I'll take DeMarie with an Achilles tear.
In 93. Wow.
I'll take Byron Leftwich. Oh my leg! And
the original oh my leg.
Yeah, the original oh my leg. I will take a Byron Leftwich who got crunched in the knee, and his teammates were picking him up, carrying him on the field, which led to. I hate to do this, Jets fans, but listen carefully. That injury led to a game-winning touchdown by Byron Leftwich.
Look, I will take a syrup serpent DeMarcus Russell over Zach Wilson.
Oh. Speaking of busts,
hard.
I mean, all Zach Wilson has to do is gain 50 pounds, and he'll be there.
Yes.
I
know Mormons don't drink, but enough against a Coke will do it to you.
I'm not a Bear fan, but I'm going to make Vic Alon very happy. I will take a left-handed pea shooting Cade McNown.
Oh wow!
Over Zach Wilson. I will take a left-handed pea shooting Cade McNown. Let's go down the list, shall we? I'll take. Let me think. Let me think. Oh, you know what? I'll take a Cleveland Browns version of Jacoby Brissett, and I got my thoughts on Jacoby Brissett later over Zach Wilson. All right. Since we're gonna go back in the day, this one's for you, Cole. I will take a Cody Carlson.
Oh man,
Commander Cody. And Jack Pardee effed that team up after he took over. Find the lie.
Yeah, to me they got a little bit on the softer side, but yeah, that's me.
I will take a late in his career Drew Bledsoe over Zach Wilson.
Can we get a witness here?
So Bledsoe when he was with the Cowboys. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Immobile as heck, but could still throw the ball.
He can still throw it. Yeah.
I mean, since we're thinking about quarterbacks, we'd rather
take even Ryan Leaf.
Ooh. Ryan Leaf, Mr. 415 for 2 yards in a game? Ryan Leaf.
Hey, chat, let's light it up. Who would you take over Zach Wilson? It could be a past quarterback. It could be a present quarterback. Let's light up the chat. Let's light up the
Lord.
A Pizzle dropped Ray Lucas.
What about Ray Lucas?
That man almost took the Jets to the playoffs in '99.
Yes.
I have lots of respect for him.
Look,
I'll take a broken down Carson Palmer, who blindly led the Bengals to the playoffs in 2005. And
I'll take Uncle Foot over.
There you go. I got to find.
Look, I'm gonna warm your heart, Ryan. I will take Richard Todd today. Over today. We don't have to go back in the time machine. I'll take him today over Zach Wilson.
I mean, Richard Todd.
I'll take Browning Nagel over Zach Wilson.
Richard Todd and Browning Nagel could blindly throw for 400 yards in a game before Zach Wilson could throw for 400 yards in a season.
I will take a 65-year-old Ken O'Brien over Zach Wilson.
He probably could still wing it.
He probably could still wing it.
Brian and Dan Marino used to sling it all over the place. It was Miami or the old Meadowlands. Here we go. October 85. Wesley Walker, the walk-off game winner.
The walk-off game winner, yeah. Oh, no, Victor. Kyle Orton. Oh.
Number 8 himself from Purdue and from the Chicago Bears.
He also mentioned Shane Matthews.
The Dollar General version of Aaron Rodgers, Kyle Orton.
He also mentioned Shane Matthews. He also mentioned Dante Culpepper.
Now, here's how bad I could tie.
And A Pistol mentioned David Garrard.
I can tie Shane Matthews.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Tony Banks. Oh, dear Lord.
Yes.
Jeff Blake.
Rod West says Tony Banks. Jeff Blake even.
I was story about
and Wise, he says, look, the only player I would not take would be Carson Wentz.
Agreed.
I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead, sir.
Those Wentz sexuals are really, really trying to. Never mind. I'll complete my sentence later. Go ahead, Ryan.
No, but my first college football game was Thanksgiving weekend, 1994. My dad. And I'm forever grateful to him for doing this. He took me. We went on a road trip to Penn State. My cousin was going there.
Oh, nice!
And we saw that '94 team that was unbelievably talented.
Yeah, they were.
And they played Michigan State in that game. Tony Banks was their quarterback.
Right.
Tony Banks. Penn State ran away with the game pretty late, but he was matching them for a while. He was matching them touchdown for touchdown for a while, but that I just said that's Rod saying Tony Banks just kind of brought back that memory. So it's a good memory.
Poor Tony Banks, the scapegoat as to why the 2000 Ravens didn't take off offensively.
Is Beaver Stadium that much of a nut house as I've seen in because that's a bucket list item of mine. Yes. To not only see a game at Beaver Stadium in front of 106,000, but
obviously to call one.
But to be in the press box, because I've already conquered Ford Field in covering the Quick Lane Bowl 1 year.
When I went on that trip back in '94, I saw the scaffolding when they were expanding the stadium out. It was already at 90,000+ when I went there, and they were expanding it to 100 and I think it's 100. I think it's 100 between 104, 105 right now.
Yeah, it's at 107 right now. Ohio Stadium's at 102 because I was in that joint in 2002 when they expanded, when they lowered the field so they can add more seats, and they took out the track. I remember that expansion because I lived through it. I lived through that. Since we're talking about quarterbacks, we'll take. Oh Lord, Victor. You know what?
Lord.
I'll hurt myself, but I'll bring out Tony Romo. This is Victor saying that. Allow.
Oh, Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I will take a broken down Bernie Kosar, who hurt the Jets in 1986.
Look, I would take.
It was Mark Gastineau who hurt them in that double overtime game with that roughing the passer.
That's true. Look, Cowboys fans, I will take Quincy Carter over Zach Wilson.
Also a former Jets quarterback.
A Georgia
Bulldog. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Georgia Bulldogs, and speaking of quarterbacks we would take over Zach Wilson, which is what this segment has been turned into.
And I deeply apologize to all of our affiliates for that.
Don't. They look. Hey, look. I got the folks in Atlanta and the folks in Chicago wrote to me and said they love the show.
Okay. All right.
They wrote to me and said they love the show, and there's a couple of stations in New York that are interested. So we're hitting all the markets, and plus, let me welcome the folks from KSRN in Phoenix, Arizona, as well, picking us up. Listen, I can't believe I'm going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't believe I'm going to do this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm reaching way back in the Wayback Machine for this one. But I will take an old ass Craig Martin.
Oof.
Who?
Over Zach Wilson.
Craig Morton. That name I haven't heard in 40 years.
Hello, who got sacked 9 times in
Super Bowl
12.
9 times.
Thank you. And thank you for the reminder of that movie, which was filmed in my hometown. 9 times.
Craig, I haven't heard that name in 40 years. Craig Morton.
Craig Morton. And I would also take Don Makowski.
Oof.
How about that name?
I will take an animatronic Johnny Unitas.
There you go.
Over Zach Wilson.
Did you have to go that graphic, Ryan?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And by the way, as a
I'll take a hologram autogram.
There you go. Listen, I will take. We're talking old quarterbacks, and Cole has the color on. I will take a bad performance from one Tommy Kramer.
I figured he's going to talk about Tommy Kramer.
Matter of fact, I'll take a 1989 performance against my beloved 49ers of Wade Wilson over Zach Wilson. And Wade Wilson actually gave the 49ers hell 2 years earlier when he threw for 341 yards. 210 of those went to 221 of those, I beg your pardon, went to one Anthony Carter. Hell, I'll take a Houston Cougar slinging Andre Ware. How's that? Listen, I will take a Calgary Stampeders version of Doug Flutie.
Or Jeff Garcia.
Oh, Jeff Garcia. There you go. There you go. And I know there's an echo. I'm working on it here on site, and I might just have to race back to my office. But
I will take Art Schlichter with the gambling slips in his pocket over Zach Wilson.
I love it. And we're talking Baltimore Colts, not Indianapolis Colts. Baltimore Colts.
Well, I was thinking Detroit Drive from the.
There you go.
Okay,
since you're going arena football, Ryan McCoffey, let's go to the old school AFL. Who did Art Schlichter face in the second Arena Bowl? I'll take Ben Bennett from the Chicago Bruisers.
Yep, the Bruisers, yes, I remember that.
Yeah, and that game was in the Rosemont Horizon. My whole family watched it, and Detroit wound up winning that game in the lowest scoring game of that season, 24-13. Held the second highest scoring team in the AFL to 13 points.
Oh wow! Tim Markham, genius coach when it came to arena football. God rest his soul.
Okay, so why is Rod Isaac going there?
What?
Victor Locke goes Rich Loose Gannon. Thank you, Chris Berman. And Archie Manning.
That's Rod West.
Of course.
But that's not the. Oh, and
thank you, Victor. Says he would take Warren Moon. Appreciate that, Victor. And also, Rod West says Andre Ward and Audrey Ware and Charlie Ward. But I'm not going to read the one that would derail this whole conversation. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Try me.
Okay. The Hawk TV, good morning to you, sir. He says, quote, I take LeBron over Tom Chambers and Larry Bird.
LeBron James is trash, Hawk TV.
Close quote.
Okay. I will not derail this conversation. I will just say this.
It's Monday, Hawk TV.
Hey, Hawk TV and Rod Isaac. Tom Chambers can run circles around LeBron James at age 6 than LeBron can do right now. Back on track. I would put Atlanta.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yes! Yes!
Cole doing his Jason Garrett impression live on.
That's right.
In the morning.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
What got Jason Garrett? You know what got Jason Garrett hired as the Cowboys coach? One performance. A backup performance on Thanksgiving Day, 1994, against Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, that earned him a coaching job, and that was as a backup QB. Yeah.
As a backup.
Speaking of arena football, we didn't address this last week. We didn't address the new part ownership of the Albany Empire.
Yes, we did.
No. Go ahead. Good. You can address it, sir.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw. One former NFL wide receiver, Antonio Brown, is now part owner of the Albany Empire.
Yes.
I'm neutral on the matter, honestly.
You're neutral? Okay.
I'm neutral. I mean, some people are.
You're neutral.
Cole,
okay.
Please elaborate. Go ahead. I know you're looking to.
You're neutral. You're neutral.
You're champing at the bit. I know you're going to say something.
I'm glad you're neutral. But considering that we're talking about Antonio Clown, the Albany Empire. Already off the rails.
Okay, I've got to. Might as well hate me, but Victor sent this to me in a text message over the weekend, and I better take these off so I can be clear to read this. Forgive me, wise, and forgive me, chat.
Oh Lord!
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. talking like an idiotic bisexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YO-CAN.
Victor, that's one of the best ads ever written. Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
That's one of the best ads written. I'm sorry, Victor. That was beautiful, man.
Mr. Johnson, you have 48 hours to turn that into a video ad.
Hooked on Bronix.
Before Ryan McCoffey gets out of here for the morning, can we get the extended praise dance, please?
Oh my gosh. Hooked on Bronix. That was good, man. That was good. In fact, it was so good, we got to do this. Dance, son! When we're singing again, yeah. Get stupid. Get stupid. Come on now. One more time, go. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Yeah. Call 1-800-YO-CAN.
Oh my gosh.
Hooked on Bronix is also Ray approved. And
Hooked on.
That is our extended version of Coffee with McCarthy, brought to you by Invader Coffee. Go to Snowman Multimedia.
Oh my gosh.
SnowmanInTheMorning.com. Pick your favorite flavor of Invader Coffee. Use the affiliate link. And not only will you help Invader Coffee, you will help us as well. As Cole tries to recover, we bid you adieu, Mr. Ryan McCoffey. We love you very much.
Yeah, wonderful job, bro.
Thank you, gentlemen. I do.
Go ahead, Ryan.
From the top, bottom, in between of my heart, I do appreciate you having me on every Monday at 8:35 to talk whatever.
I think I knew before the summer you'd be a perfect addition when we had you on and we just did like a straight laced interview, and then you dropped something that made us laugh, and I thought right then and there, perfect. And this is a perfect time for you to come on before you get your day started, and you help us close hour one and keep our day started. Thank you, Mr. McCoffey, so much.
And thank you. Shameless plug. No commercials required. Returns this week. We're not sure when, but it could be Tuesday. It could be Friday. We'll let you know. I'll let you know in the chat.
All right.
I will be tuning in. In. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Gentlemen, have a great Monday.
You too. 1-800-YO-KANG, Lord.
Okay.
Hour 2 begins now. Goodness gracious.
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular Ryan McCoffey now joins us this morning.
That's what you need to do to beat Josh Allen. You need to make him uncomfortable.
Hour 2, time for some Spivey notes. And here's Jay.
Well, I know he's only in his third year, but they're just wasting Justin Herbert.
Hour 2,
the hardest working content creator I know, the playmaker.
Hey, LeBron James, the greatest scorer of all time. Hey.
Hour 2,
the one, the only Christopher Dietz.
They rewarded Ohio State for not playing, and they punished USC 4 playing?
Hour 2, Sam Shady.
Oh man, it's been a roller coaster ride if you were a Philadelphia Stars fan.
Hour 2, that's Big Ben, the man in charge of the BS3 network.
And if I see Kurt 2 Chainz Cousins out.
Hour 2, Chris Bay's joining us.
Oh my God! Oh, this game! Oh, way to go, Sammy!
Hour 2, was El Jefe.
Oh man, I thought I missed it.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Time for hour 2 of this spectacular, and it starts right now.
And hour number 2 of Monday, Snowman in the Morning, gets underway right now with Ryan Snow. I am Cole Johnson, and oh my gosh, okay. As I try still to recover back to the Fanatics feedback zone, and because of the Hooked on Bronix ad, our conscience, as people have said, Wise El Jefe says, wait a minute, it's Monday. And A Pizzle. All this and A Pizzle channeling me doing the with the Jason Garrett. He's clapping too. Victor says, "Look, I'm sorry, Wise. I had to put this ad in." Oh, and he also said, "Oh, Wise, I heard you went off on a Thursday morning." And he says, "Thank you to us." Hot TV says, "Look, Vlog, that infomercial will be slamming, and you know it."
That's why the evil genius known as Cole Johnson has 48 hours to turn it into an ad.
And a comment.
48 hours? Because it would be Wednesday.
Mm-hmm. And Hall TV gives a compliment to our beloved Ryan McCarthy. Says, "Look, Ryan is disappearing for our eyes with the weight loss, and congratulations on the health journey that he's taking. Totally understand that."
In a health journey. Y'all ready for this? Y'all know a year ago I had surgery. I dropped down to as low as 208. I'm up to 235 now.
All right. Good.
I'm up to 235 now.
Good. So Wise answers Victor. He says, "Look, so what happened? What had happened, Vicala, was a bronze sexual had to be addressed. No, it wasn't a bronze sexual had to be addressed. It was the Hawk TV. That's who was being addressed. And yes, Victor, you miss Wise go off on a Thursday. Yes, we had a Bronze Sexual Confessions Thursday style starring Wise El Jefe." He says, "Man, I'm sorry, Wise, but in this response to a Bronze Sexual that was talking about having his king win an extra $1 million rather than waiting to win for it, family." That is still one of the funniest things I have ever heard in my life. I'm like, Lord have mercy. If I had a chance to win $1 million, or if my king won it, I'd want my king to win it. What the heck are you talking about? If I had a chance to win $1 million, forget the king. That's mine. Anyway. Okay. Woosa. So, as you've heard, Kevin Durant will be missing some action. So now he is due to be out at least 3 weeks with that left ankle sprain he twisted up last week before his highly anticipated first home game for as a Phoenix Sun. Now, the Footprint Center unfortunately will not see him on the court possibly until right before the playoffs begin. Now, the Suns announced Thursday that Durant sustained the left ankle sprain, and of course, he slipped during the pregame warm. He rolled his ankle is really what he did during the warm-ups last Wednesday while driving toward the basket. Now, he'll be reevaluated at the end of this month. They say he can return to the court as soon as March 31st, which, of course, that's within 3 weeks, for their home game against the Nuggets. Or the Suns could just simply opt to shut him down until the regular season ends, and they prepare for him to be with them during their playoff drive. And they figure with only 6 games remaining, they might shut him down. Now, further evaluation has confirmed that Durant has sustained that left ankle sprain. And the two-time Finals MVP, he was traded there on February 8th, but he didn't really play for another 3 weeks. He didn't start to play until March the 1st. and he suffered a knee injury with the Nets. So this was supposed to be, I guess, a crowning achievement of him going for a good playoff run and giving them a championship, but one rolled ankle and one possible close but no cigar attempt by the Suns.
Are we talking about Kevin Durant again?
Yes, we're talking about Kevin Durant.
I have two statements about. I have one statement about Kevin Durant, and I got one statement about the Suns.
One statement about Durant, one statement about the Suns. Okay, go ahead, sir.
The statement about Durant: his season's over.
Oh, so you don't even think he's going to make it for the playoffs? Okay.
No.
So Durant's season's over, you say?
Uh-huh.
I got a feeling I understand what the Suns' statement is going to be, but go ahead, sir.
The Suns' season is kaputski.
And it might be in some parts because my partner is drinking this.
This coffee with McCarthy is sponsored by Steph Curry Cognac. One, and it's lights out.
Just a thought, just a guess. Just a slight guess.
I mean, you're right. After what I saw Saturday night, I mean, you're right. After what I saw Saturday night, and what
you should be encouraged. You should be encouraged what you saw Saturday night.
Statement win.
And what he's talking about is the Warriors in overtime, and Curry just absolutely, basically, he basically turned the clock back to, I guess, around 2016, when they had a key victory over the Bucks. And to me, it's not necessarily the victory; it is the team they beat. And
they beat the team with the best record.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to come back to do it because they were down 108-100 with less than minutes remaining, and then Steph Curry said, "The hell with this," because there was no way in the fourth quarter. And I'm going to put my analytical hat on. Thank you, Scott Fields. I'm going to put my analytical hat on, and it goes like this: in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter of that game, in front of Dub Nation at the Chase Center in San Francisco, which will never host an All-Star game. I'll talk about that on Wednesday. Hell, I may talk about that later today. In the Chase Center, it was quiet. There was no noise, and the Bucks were up by 8. As soon as Steph hit that corner 3 to make it 108-103, all hell broke loose.
Now, what makes this team interesting is that they are absolute nails when it comes to playing in the Chase Center. I mean, a wonderful home court advantage for them. They celebrate. It's getting them away from San Francisco is what it's done them in, along, of course, with the fact that they're a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, and not only that, they're incredibly beat up because we still have Andrew Wiggins since January.
Right.
We have not seen Andrew Wiggins since January, so them going back to back is going to require nothing short. And this is a Warrior fan and a Warrior insider saying this. It's going to require nothing short of a miracle. But that being said, I am encouraged as to what happened Saturday night.
I'll put it to you this way. So, of course, you're talking to a man who rooted for a team that started a playoff journey as the 6th seed. And they ended that journey with a Larry O'Brien trophy. So,
yes,
it can be done from the 6th seed, and the team could look absolutely inconsistent all throughout the season. If they catch hot at the right moment, watch out. So it can, if it happened to the Rockets 95, it can possibly happen to the Warriors 2023.
And the most encouraging thing is how it seemed like they just turned it on in the final 90 seconds. Because Steph hit 2 threes, Drew Holiday fell down on the dribble, Klay Thompson with a steal, push ahead to Steph, who gets the tying layup. Drew Holiday comes right back, God bless him, and hits a 30-footer in the face of the defense, Bucks up 111-108. Steph Curry says, "Oh yeah, take this." He bangs home a three. Tie game at 111. I'm going nuts watching this. My wife wakes up and says, "What's going on?" And I said, "Baby, remember when I told you that the Warriors are down 108, 100, we can go to bed?" And she just looked at me with that evil smile and she says, "They tied it up." I said, 111 apiece. And
now,
the defensive play of the game, Steph Curry blocks Drew Holiday with 1.5 left. And from there, it was all dub.
And here comes Hard TV with the fire hose. In the situation, he says, "Look, Giannis plays that game, the Warriors lose."
I say no.
I say it don't matter.
It doesn't. After that performance on Saturday night, after that performance in the final 90 seconds, I mean, I've said all year. I will continue to say, I have said it since the top of the season. The Warriors, the champs, have been maddeningly inconsistent. I've said that.
Yeah, what's happened?
I've said that all year.
And they still are, yeah.
And they still are. They are
still
horribly inconsistent. But as horribly inconsistent as they are, and I say are, and I capitalize and underline that word, as horribly inconsistent as they are, those last 90 seconds of regulation just may have produced a world championship matchup.
And Heart TV says, "Look, Cole, Snowman is true." I'm not saying it isn't true. What I'm saying is, from the "it doesn't matter" portion, it is like what Herm Edwards said: you play to win the game, and the Bucks trotted out who they trotted out.
Yep.
Giannis couldn't go. Oh well, so be it. And
like all those times, it's like all the games that Steph missed.
Yeah.
And I hate people that down Steph when he misses a game. "Oh, the Warriors are sunk. The Warriors are done. The Warriors are done." Especially Rod Isaac. Let me address Rod Isaac real quick. Rod, I want you to listen to me carefully. All you Steph haters, I want y'all to listen to me very, very carefully, because my next statement, which is a fact, since y'all don't want to talk about facts, my next statement goes like this: in the 26 games that Steph Curry has missed this year due to an injury, a shoulder injury, you know the Warriors are 14-12.
So they're over 500 with Curry. Wow. And they're 500 with him. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, Hawk TV. Yes, indeed. Drew kept Steph in check.
Look, Drew Holiday's one of the better backcourt defenders. Yeah. I'm not surprised at that.
One of the best defensive guards in the game today. And yes, he did keep Steph in check for most of that game. Underlining and capitalize the word most. But I'll say it again. Those last 90 seconds when the Bucks should have closed them out with an 8-point lead with 1:40 with 105 seconds left, Steph caught fire. And you know as well as I, it can happen at any time.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Cole.
Oh yeah, How TV says, "Look, yeah, they should have closed, and the Bucks should not have their closer." He goes on to say, "Giannis would have given them that extra punch to win." But I'm with Mr. V Lock when Victor says, "The thing is, you play who is on the floor, not who could be on the floor." You know, like for example, with me, I will always go to Game 6 and 7 of the 2018 Western Conference Finals. Look, I could say all day long, if Chris Paul didn't pull his hamstring, they would have beaten the Warriors, and the Warriors would have summarily been gone from the playoffs. But you know what? He couldn't go, and the ones who could didn't get the job done. Do I whine about it? No. The better team won.
Didn't we talk about that?
Yeah.
Did we not? I mean, both years, 18 and 19.
And 19 is even worse because you had Durant who went out. And to me, I thought that was a better chance for the Rockets to win that series. And And the Warriors just showed they were just hungrier than the Rockets were. To me, 2019 was more embarrassing than 2018.
The Warriors were shorthanded in 2019 because
They were shorthanded, and the bench, the Warriors bench in Game 6 clobbered the Rockets bench.
I think 53 points, was it?
Mm-hmm.
53 points in Game 6.
And it was because of them that they were able to keep the Warriors in Game 6, and then Curry had a fantastic first 9 minutes of the fourth quarter, and was like, it was a wrap. 23 points in the 9 minutes in the fourth quarter. It was a wrap.
Steph Curry scoreless.
It held him scoreless the first half. And people in the arena, people in Toyota Center was actually laughing at him because he missed a bunny layup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looked that bad out of sorts. And the Warriors still clobber the Rockets. Still. Short-handed. Still clobbered them.
53 bench points.
What can I say to that? What can I say to that?
53. I'll keep it. There are two numbers from those two series that Cole and I look at when we put our analytical hats on, and all these Steph Curry haters and these Warrior haters, and there are plenty, that want to see the Warriors fail. If any other team, let me address this. If any other team succeeds, folks will get behind it for that season. If the Warriors succeed, then they'll tear them down and say all kinds of disparaging things about them. Let me educate you fools. And it goes like this. Since 2015, the Warriors have done something twice only the Bulls have done. And that is a double-digit differential in points. They've done it 3 times. 15, 18, and 19. And 19 was one of the most madly inconsistent seasons for Golden State, and they won 58 games.
Yeah, it was a rocky season for them.
And they won 58 games.
Mm-hmm.
They won 58 games. The bench was short. Durant was injured. Steph was injured. Hell, Steph missed the last 11 games of that season.
Mm-hmm.
And yet they outscored their opponents by double digits in 2019. Double digits. Only the Bulls in the from the 90s up. Only the Bulls did it more than once. As a matter of fact, all 3 seasons that the Bulls won the championship, they had a double-digit differential in points. So they were the best offensive team and they were the best defensive team. Mm-hmm. Okay? Yes, the Bucks should have closed Saturday night. Yes, the Bucks did not have their closer, but you go to war with who you have.
Thank
you. Giannis couldn't go. So what? Drew Holiday should have closed that game. Drew Holiday was good, but in the last 90 seconds and in overtime, Stephen Curry was better. Period.
Yeah.
You ride with the horses that came with you. The Boston Celtics are finding that out. The Milwaukee Bucks are finding that out. The Warriors have already known this. And plus, this was the matchup, and a lot of people don't bring this, a lot of people don't say this aloud, but Mike Breen did for 53 minutes. This is the matchup of the last 2 champions. And yet people still disrespect the Golden State Warriors because of the maddeningly inconsistent season that they've had, which I have said all season long. But what I have also said all season long, even given their road struggles, which may eventually undo them, but if they
could be done
fire at the right time and they win 1 road series, they could do what Houston did to the rest of the American League. Listen to me carefully, y'all. It goes like this, and this applies in any sport with any team, even if they're struggling like the Warriors are. To be the champs, you unseat unseat the champs.
Whoa!
And as far as I'm concerned, until the Warriors are eliminated in a 7-game series, no matter what round it is, to be the champs, You must unseat the champs. And to Rod West, listen to me carefully. Your Lakers ain't gonna get the job done.
I'm about to style and profile like never before. Woo!
Listen carefully again. Okay? Hawk TV, Rod West, all you Faker fans who don't even know the rest of the blankety blank bleep bleep Laker roster.
Oh, wow.
And the one big man that they have on the roster, save Anthony Davis, that actually can do some things in the name of Rui Hachimura. They won't turn him loose. Last night proved it. Listen to me again. And it goes like this. To be the champs, you must unseat the champs.
The limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
To the Golden State Warriors, the world champion. Salute.
Woo! That's why this jacket costs $2,000 and this tie costs $500. And I don't know how much that costs. I'm too afraid to wear it. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
You weren't going to keep Cole Flair in check if you tried.
Space Mountain. Oldest ride, longest line. Woo!
Let's take a break, and when we come back, the Bears Panthers executed a trade. I'll have thoughts on the Bears, and then Jay Spivey will join us at the bottom of the hour with his thoughts on the Panthers, and we're going to eviscerate the Panthers and Tobacco Road Sports Radio. Oh, did I say that aloud?
Oh, Lord.
From Columbus, Indiana, and the Tennessee Whiskey Studios, it's Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Back in a flash.
You keep your mouth shut, fat boy.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the High Five Strangers guy. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extra berth. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
'Cause we take this job so serious.
What in the all types of blue hell?
This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Rolling right along with the Snowman. I am Cole. Welcome back to Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Let's see here. Okay, well, just had to check the finance feedback zone real fast. All right, now before we have Mr. Spivey join us, let's talk about Selection Sunday, and we will definitely discuss real quickly the number one seeds. Now, Houston had a chance to be the number one overall seed. All they had to do was win their conference tournament. But Memphis had other ideas, and they shut that door, opening the way for Alabama, who just clobbered Texas A&M to win the SEC tournament. And they are the number one overall seed. Now, you have, of course, along with Alabama and Houston, you have, you have Purdue. And, oh, good Lord, I'm blanking on the, I think it's Kansas, but I'm blanking on the other one. So, you have those ready to go. And now it is about the rest of the month starting Thursday. Well, she's starting tomorrow, technically. But the big tournament starting Thursday. And who will be the team to run through? Who will be the Cinderella that will impress us the first weekend? Who will be the team that catches on fire that started off slow like North Carolina did last year? Who would be the power that would outlast anything and everything that happens through the tournament and possibly win it all? We will discuss more of that all throughout this week. But for now, it is time for us to discuss one team in the NCAA, not necessarily in the tournament, but who plays NCAA basketball in particular, and among some other things, North Carolina style. Let us tend to some Spivey notes. I think it's safe for us to say that we've been looking forward to this portion of the week, and we've been looking forward to the guest that we have on this time as he joins us every Monday morning at 9:30 Eastern. One, Mr. Jay Spivey, a wonderful journalist from the North Carolina area. How are you doing, Jay?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm happy. And two reasons why. One, my Wildcats are dancing. And two, the Tar Heels ain't.
And I want you to talk about how depressed you are, Jay, that the Tar Heels did not make it to the NCAA tournament.
Well, Cole, I heard your intro, and what a great intro you had for me. And
Thank you.
When you said that Carolina does play NCAA basketball, well, they're not because of their own arrogance. I don't care who you are. You're going to turn down an NIT berth because of your own arrogance.
Ooh.
Shot to the gut.
Ooh. And we didn't get to the hard stuff yet. Oh, man.
I mean, I'm serious.
Say it again.
You turn down an NIT berth because of your own arrogance.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you caught me early on the show. I said that Hubert Davis, of course, the head coach of the Tar Heels men's basketball team, he said that he prepared his team to play for and win the NCAA championship. I said, wait a minute, you mean you all prepare for and you thirst for and you want to beat Duke, not necessarily go for NCAA championship.
Exactly right.
Let me make Jay extremely happy. Let me make Jay Spivey, my good friend, extremely happy by saying Tar Heels, along with Tobacco Road Sports Radio, you messed up because of your own arrogance.
Yeah, now go further into why you think it is extremely arrogant of North Carolina to turn down the NIT invitation.
Well, I mean, if you talk to Carolina quote-unquote fans, who I don't believe there's a lot of true Carolina fans, at least in this area.
What part of the
all they care about is basketball.
What
they
part
were like, well, we don't care about winning championships. Well, part of it is if you don't make it for whatever reason, and I don't care what they've said this year. I don't care what the media said. They're the only team that did not make the NCAA tournament to be the number one team to be the preseason number one team. They're
Right.
the only team. Maryland, the NC State does not count. NC State would have definitely made it because they were the number 2 seed in 1975, but they just happened to lose to Maryland.
Yep, they did.
So the Carolina is the only team.
And
But
let me
despite
echo
that, they should be playing in the NIT this week.
Let me echo a point that Jay and I talked about 2 years ago. When Hubert Davis was hired, Jay and I both said in 4 words, that was a mistake.
Huge. Well, you look right now. I know he went in the Final Four last year. I get that. But even it's much harder to win at Vanderbilt. But Jerry Stackhouse has done a pretty good job at Vanderbilt. And he would have been a better choice, in my opinion. Hubert Davis had 0 coaching.
What was the other coach we both said would make
King Rice.
King Rice.
I heard that name. Yeah.
Should have got 93 championship team. King Rice should have gotten that opportunity. There was another coach that
Wes Miller.
Him. There's the coach. Wes Miller. Wes Miller should have been the coach of North Carolina because they would have won the national championship last year.
And wouldn't have cared about beating Duke.
And would not have cared at all about beating Duke on the national stage. Now you are stuck with Hubert Davis as your coach. And Hubert Davis, and I hate saying this because I know he wore Carolina colors, I think they hired Hubert Davis because he played for Carolina.
Of course.
And wasn't that good anyway. Am I wrong?
That was Roy Williams handpicked him.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was Roy Williams' pick. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
There's differences. People want to say there's level to this when we talk NBA basketball. More on that tomorrow.
There's difference levels this with college basketball head coaches.
College basketball head coaches. Give you an example. No one handpicked Chris Collins to lead the Northwestern Wildcats.
Right.
And no offense toward John Shire, but Chris Collins should have been the Duke coach.
Should have been the Duke coach. But you know what Northwestern did when they hired him? They gave him full autonomy.
Yep.
They gave him full autonomy and said, you pick the players, you recruit the players, you put the staff together that you need. Not what you want, but what you need. The result
it's so hard to win in basketball and football at Northwestern.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Very hard.
And yet, and I've said this before, Jay has heard me say it, Cole has heard me say it, the chat's heard me say it. Yet for the first time in Wildcats history, they have not one, but 2 legacy head coaches in the 2 main sports. And that's football and men's basketball. 2 legacy head coaches. And the reason Chris Collins is now a legacy head coach is because now on 2 occasions, 6 years apart, they have made the NCAA tournament, and yet and as a matter of fact, they own a tournament victory. That, of course, was in 2017. Right. This year, they make the tournament, projected as an 8 seed, wind up a 7 seed when they face Boise State this weekend. And should they win that game, it'll just further entrench them into Northwestern history. We know what Pat Fitzgerald has done with the Northwestern football team. They could have a down year like they did this year. They won their first game and didn't win a game. But you know why they won't touch Pat Fitzgerald? Because Pat Fitzgerald, like Chris Collins, is successful.
And look what he's done. Look what both of them have done with facilities there.
Yeah. I love Ryan Field and Welsh Ryan Arena. Been in both before the construction and after. If you win at a place like Northwestern that has been in the doldrums for years, you get money coming in for your programs. You can spread it around to the other programs. Pay attention, North Carolina. And you can upgrade your facilities.
And you're building a brand new football stadium right now.
You're building a brand new.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
The Northwestern Wildcats. A brand new stadium. They're knocking down Ryan Field, and they're putting together a stadium worthy of Pat Fitzgerald and the Northwestern Wildcats. Matt, I cannot remember his name. I'm blanking on North Carolina coach's name. I'm blanking right now, and I don't know why that is.
Which one are you talking about?
Carolina.
Right now, Hubert.
No. Mac Brown.
Yeah.
Mac Brown had success the first time at Carolina.
Yeah, he did.
He's not having it.
He's struggling mightily this time around.
Because Mac Brown's legacy is not at North Carolina.
That's at
Mac
Texas.
Brown's legacy is at Texas.
One thing, having followed it, one thing he is doing, and there's a fine line between being a good recruiter and being a good coach.
Oh,
Mac Brown
yes.
is doing a good job of recruiting, but
He
it's
is.
just not really coming together as a team, as a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that, and I hate to be an ageist, because I'm not normally an ageist, but when you're his age, and you look at him on the sideline, he really doesn't make a lot of coaching decisions. He really delegates that, which is fine. I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he's in his 70s. And you're coaching major college football.
And yeah, and to your larger point, how much of his fingerprints are on the team? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And he's got great players, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got to put that together as a team, TEAM.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really, and let's face it, but I know the rules get ready to change this year in the ACC, but the Coastal Division is horrible.
Speaking of teams, and
I want to go back to what you said about Bill Self.
Yeah.
Let's just flip this and say, had Kansas played Kansas State or Texas or whomever last year in the Final Four,
mm-hmm.
do you think they would have cared about, beating beating Texas or Kansas State in the semifinals?
Heck no.
They wouldn't have cared.
No, it's another game. And yes, it's a rival, but it's another game. We want the national championship. Yeah.
We don't care about beating Texas or Kansas State in the Final Four.
Yeah. Now, would it be a feather in our cap? Yes, but will we celebrate it more than the national championship? Heck no.
Way to win the game.
Right.
Saturday night in the Final Four does not matter. It is Monday night.
It's Monday night. It's that Monday night. Yeah.
Monday night, April 3rd this year in Houston, Texas. That matters more than any other.
That's the mentality that got Carolina last year in the championship, and it's the reason they stupidly turned down the NIT bid last night.
And it's going to be the reason they fail next year. I'm going to right now. I'm going to put this out there right now. And if Desmond Johnson is listening, you can come after me all you want. All you wine and cheese Carolina Tar Heel fans that don't do your history research, you can come after me all you want.
Ooh.
It's the arrogance that made them fail this year miserably. It's their arrogance that's going to make them fail next year. And Hubert Davis will be, or should be, gone.
It's the same arrogance that Notre Dame football had.
You know
what?
what?
And still has.
It still has.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
People wonder why I hate Notre Dame football so much.
1995 made me hate Notre Dame football and love Northwestern football forever. Because Northwestern had no business being a 28-point underdog that they were on that Saturday afternoon, September 2nd, 1995. They had no business, none, going into Notre Dame Stadium in front of Touchdown Jesus and 80,000 people. They were a 28-point underdog, 28, and they beat them 17-15. That is the game that made me love Northwestern football forever. And you know who was a part of that game that made an impact?
Pat Fitzgerald. Mm-hmm.
Pat Fitzgerald. There are two Wildcats that made me love them forever. Pat Fitzgerald on the defensive side and Darnell Autry on the offensive side. Speaking of offense, and speaking of,
here we go.
Well,
Here we go.
you know what's coming. You know we got to touch that. The Bears and the Panthers.
The Carolina Panthers are now on the clock.
Listen, let me say that the Carolina Panthers have been on the clock for years. All right? They've been on the clock since Cam Newton. I'm sorry. Did I bring that up? They've been on the clock.
Superman.
Oh, good Lord. Okay.
Yes,
So,
he never won anything.
all right, so let's.
They make this trade.
Yeah.
Where they the number 1 pick and send the Bears a haul of picks.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 statements and a question. First of all, what the hell are these 2 teams doing? And second of all, who actually thinks? And I'm gonna give a lollipop curveball to Jay. Who actually thinks that DJ Moore can be projected, God help me, as a number 1 receiver for Justin Fields?
Who think? Wait. Before you answer that, Jay, who actually thinks that DJ Moore is a number 1 wide receiver on any team?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead. I had to do
We
that.
fought this for the entire season the year before last, and I was told that he was a number 1 receiver. For on most teams, he would be like a 3.
Yeah, I was about to say he wouldn't be a 2 for most teams. I was going to say that.
I've got 4 words for being a number 1 receiver. And Cole, you know my next 4 words. Who told this lie?
And I just have this response.
DR.
And oh Lord, and I have this response for anyone who argued that DJ Moore is a number 1 wide receiver anywhere. You gotta be kidding me. And to me, that's why I said to myself, I want to compare notes with Jay, because when I saw this trade, I actually thought Carolina blew it from the standpoint of you let go of a piece that, yeah, it may be expendable, but
and assuming they do draft a quarterback, and I'm assuming they are,
right?
Why do you trade away your best receiver?
That's where I was going to go. I'm like, you need weapons. Why are you trading away one of the best weapons you have on your team?
And here's my other point.
I would say to a team that is starved with offensive line help.
Totally.
And so that's why I thought the Panthers just massively failed there. But go ahead, Jay.
I saw this Friday
night. Both teams are starving. All right, I've said this for 2 years about both teams when I lived here and when I lived in North Carolina. Both teams are starved for offensive line help.
Yep.
Starving for offensive line help. The problem is both organizations are so inept that the Bears are going to screw up this haul, and now they're going to blow it and not solve their offensive line.
These are the Bears we're talking about.
Good point, Jay.
I don't get how this is one of the original NFL teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they really, over the years, have not had a lot of success. Papa Bear House got to be rolling over in his grave
several times.
And I know everybody loves Virginia. I love it. I get that.
I don't.
But the people they have in higher spaces, higher offices up there. I mean, I don't mind they're making this trade, because I guess if you feel like Justin Fields is your quarterback, and I don't think he is, you make this trade. And this is a no-brainer trade, in my opinion. But as far as Carolina goes, this has David Tepper written all over it.
Yeah, make the big splash. Yeah, you're right.
Guys, there is zero reason to make this trade as early as they did. At the time of this trade, there were 41 days before the draft.
That's correct.
41. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
He's not even had his none of these quarterbacks have even had a pro day yet.
Right.
And they're going to spend their.
And here's my other thing is why? Hey, listen, I love Alabama. I like Bryce. I like Bryce.
Same. Same.
And I think, despite what people are saying, C.J. Stroud is very overrated. I think Bryce Young is probably a little small and overrated, at least on the NFL level. And this Will Levis, he can't play. And Anthony Richardson has never proven at Florida he can play. What is the fact that you make this trade of this year of all years?
I mean,
there's not a proven quarterback in this draft.
Listen, I got into a Facebook argument with so many people when I said 4 words: Bryce is not ready. Bryce is not ready.
None of these quarterbacks are.
None of them are.
To be the number one pick.
None of them
but they're
are
going to be because nobody has a quarterback right now.
Right.
Nobody
They're
has
probably maybe 10 or 12 quarterbacks worth of crap.
And I wouldn't necessarily bet the farm on Justin Fields.
Justin Fields to me is one of the most overrated players in the NFL.
I said that last year.
He can't throw. All he does is run the ball.
He cannot throw longer than 10 yards. And the only reason that he threw longer than 10 yards in the last 3 games of the year is because he absolutely had to. And he can't do it consistently, never has been able to do it consistently, never will be able to do it consistently. Never. All right? Listen to me, Chicago Bear fans. You're going to lose your fan base to Arlington Heights. You're going to erect
another stupid mistake.
The biggest stupid.
Never leave downtown Chicago ever.
And they're going to leave downtown Chicago. Thank you, Uncle Foot, for driving them off.
Yep. Arlington Heights, here we come.
Thank you, Uncle Foot, for driving them off. And that beautifully narrated piece by one Bill Curtis, a Chicago legend, is going to go for naught. It's going to go for naught because they're going to go to Arlington Heights because the McCaskies are so blankety-blank, bleep, greedy that they see Arlington Heights the same way Gerald sees AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Yeah, a cash cow.
A cash cow.
And not just for his own team.
Thank you. Not just for his own team. They're trying to do, listen, the Bears are trying to do unsuccessfully what Gerald Jones has done unsuccessfully in moving to Arlington from Texas Stadium.
It's dumb.
And they're trying to do what San Francisco has done successfully in moving from San Francisco to Santa Clara, because all of their facilities are in Santa Clara. I mean, the first couple of seasons.
I think Tepper wants to move the Panthers to South Carolina.
I know he does. Rock Hill, here they come.
But wait a minute. Hadn't there been a talk for decades? That's what he wanted to do?
That's what Tepper. Honestly, because of the tax situation, I think Tepper would love to move to South Carolina. But to me, who's going to drive 30 minutes to an hour every Sunday or whatever night they play?
Yep.
To go see the Panthers play, they're not going to do that.
And they're not going to be that good either.
And let's face it, guys. I mean, obviously, Denver got bitten by the trade this past season.
Yeah, they did.
Or Russell Wilson. And then if the Panthers blew this by drafting a terrible quarterback, as they very well could, this could bankrupt them for years.
And it's going to happen because I can tell you right now, the two that they're looking at, and Jay brought it up last week, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. Okay? Will Levis has no business having a pro day. Okay?
I looked the other night.
Anthony Richardson's
latest mock draft has all 4 quarterbacks going in the top 7. That tells you how star the NFL is right now for a quarterback.
And they don't have a quarterback that's the face of the league. They don't have a quarterback that's the face of the league, and the one that should be the face of the league, Patrick Mahomes. They're trying to drive him down.
Yeah, true.
They're trying to drive him. They're trying to drive him down. Matter of fact, I'll give you 3 faces of the NFL right now at the quarterback position, and the NFL doesn't want to have anything to do with them. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and when he gets back from injury, Brock Purdy. Watch. They're going to try to drive all three of them down, even though Patrick Mahomes has won 2 Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts carried his team to a Super Bowl. Brock Purdy was damn near on the verge of a miraculous finish before he got injured. And thank God the surgery went well for Brock, and he'll be able to throw, and he's on target to go. He'll be on target to go unless a huge setback happens. He'll be on target to go.
Just look at how serious that injury was that we didn't know at the time. When it's taken this long for that swelling to go down.
Yeah.
And
Over a month, yeah.
It's been well over a month.
Yeah, well over a month.
Weeks now.
Yeah.
40 days. 40 days. Okay? And I just gave you 3 quarterbacks that should be faces of the league right now, and they're not going to have it because they want this crop or this crap of quarterback class to be the faces of the league.
Let's face it, guys. If this trade happens,
well, they have to take a.
Aaron Rodgers gets traded to the Jets.
Oh,
the
gosh.
Jets will be on national TV 10 times.
Almost every week they would be. Yeah.
And Iron Eagle would go crazy. Eagle, and I love Iron Eagle, but they're gonna. If that trade happens, then that is a huge hit. That is a huge hit because we know Aaron Rodgers can. Never mind. There's a way I want to say it, but I won't say it here. That if that trade happens, do you know they're going to force Iron Eagle to call all the Jets games?
You know they will.
They're going to force a New York boy and to call all the games. And if Iron Eagle doesn't call all the Jets games,
Jim Nantz and Tony
It'll be Jim Nantz. Yeah, be Jim Nantz and Tony Romo.
And it won't even be Noah Eagle, Iron's son, who's making a name for himself in the broadcast.
Right, he is.
I mean, he's making a tremendous name for himself, but they're not going to have him do it.
Yeah, they're not going to put Noah there yet.
TV every single week.
That is what is going to make me throw completely up. You're going to think about the Jets as we do about the Cowboys. It's like, okay, we get it. We get it. They move the needle. Okay, next.
Yeah. And do they move the needle?
The Cowboys, unfortunately, do move the needle, which boggles my mind that people care so much about a middling team.
About a team. Let me echo Ben.
Mediocre since 1986.
Haven't done jack in 30 years.
Let me echo Ben Sutter's statement. Ben Sutter the third statement. You're talking about a team that is locked into mediocrity. That is the Dallas Cowboys, and worse than that, that's the New York Jets. Because
you turn it on to literally any sports channel. Any sports channel. I mean, we've the season's been done for a month now. And all you hear about is what Jerry's doing, what Dak Prescott's doing, what the running backs are doing. It's just nonstop.
Yeah.
For a team that has not won a Super Bowl in almost 30 years.
For a team that hasn't reached an NFC championship game since January.
In 27 years, yeah. They haven't reached an NFC championship game in 27 years. And won't for 28 at least.
Dak Prescott is
listen. Dak Prescott.
Zeke Elliott has done nothing. He's a shadow of his former self right now.
And he had one good year. That was his rookie year.
Their best running back is Tony Pollard. They have no receivers really other than Trustee.
And they franchised him, and he's going to be gone in a year. They blew it.
Why they traded Amari Cooper is beyond me.
Amari was their best receiver because CeeDee Lamb ain't fitting the bill. Let me say that again, Cowboy fans. And Cole, do me a favor. Give me this camera. I'm going to look in the camera, and give me this camera. CeeDee Lamb has blown it. Do you understand what I'm saying, Cowboy fan? CeeDee Lamb has blown it. He has no business wearing number 88. None whatsoever, because he is not the man. He never will be the man. And unfortunately, playing at Oklahoma has not done much for CeeDee Lamb's career. Take the camera back. Did I say any lies?
Nope.
Did I say any falsehoods?
He's not the playmaker.
Hell no. Why he's wearing number 88, I don't know. He should
Why is
give
that
it
number
back
not
to
retired
Michael
in
Irvin.
Cowboy in the Ring of Honor? Why is that number not retired?
And not for Michael Irvin, for Drew Pearson.
Yeah, both of them.
I'm sorry. Well, yeah, you can retire it for both of them. Yes. Yes, I will give you that. But CeeDee Lamb has no business wearing number 88 because he's not a good receiver at all. Period.
Well, if you listen to the media, you think that Dak Prescott's won 6 Super Bowls and is destined for the Hall of Fame. What has he done?
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, Jay. I hit a couple of the wrong
That's okay.
buttons.
That's okay.
Cole has to depart. I'll take us the rest of the way here.
All right.
What has Dak Prescott done since? You know what? Dak Prescott was touted to be a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Oh, please.
What the hell was that?
Listen, I hate the Cowboys. I fully admit I hate the Cowboys. And I get tired of hearing this media blitz every single week.
Every week.
I will give him last year, that injury was horrible.
Yes.
And I'm sure it's been
I'll
hard to get over that injury.
Give you that. Give you that. I'll give him that.
He's not one of the best 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
And they want to tout him as such. Dak Prescott sucks as a quarterback. All right? Y'all hear me? Dak Prescott blows.
If he played for any other team, nobody would care about him.
Nobody would care about him at all. But since he's the face of the Dallas Cowboys, God help us. Since he's the face of the Cowboys.
He's in so many commercials.
Oh, my God. I mean, at least when Troy and Emmett and Michael Irvin and Jay Novacek were in commercials, they actually had reasons because they actually made the Cowboys good. They won. Absolutely. They won.
Most of those guys are in the Hall of Fame, too.
All 3 of them are in the Hall of Fame. Hell, even Leon Lett's in the Ring of Honor. And we all know what he did Thanksgiving 1993.
Well, the person who should be in the Ring of Honor is not. Why is Jimmy Johnson not in the Ring of Honor?
Because they don't like Jimmy Johnson.
Because Jerry's jealous of him is why.
Jerry is very jealous of him because Jerry gave Jimmy Johnson full autonomy, and Jimmy Johnson executed every single move to make the Cowboys into what should have been the 90s dynasty, but isn't because Gerald got jealous.
They could have won 5 or 6 Super Bowls that decade.
They could have dominated that decade. They could have dominated that decade. They could have dominated that decade. But after the 49ers kicked them in the rear end in 1994, yeah, they got lucky and won in 1995, but that's only because the 49ers got beat by Brett Favre and the Packers at Candlestick Park. 27-17. And they forced Steve Young to throw the ball 65 times. If they had any semblance of a running game, we wouldn't even be having this conversation because San Francisco would have repeated.
Well, like you were just saying a few minutes ago, they've not done anything in almost 30 years.
Nothing. And the Bears and the Panthers are not going to do anything this year and beyond because of a stupid trade that they made. And people are projecting, and I know you've seen it. Jay, I know you've seen it. We'll close with this. I know you have seen the reports projecting DJ Moore to be a number 1 receiver for Justin Fields.
I heard that.
Why?
Why? And especially if you got Justin Fields as your quarterback. Is he much better than the Panthers quarterbacks this year?
No. I mean, Justin Fields rushed for 1,000 yards. Whoopee. What was the Bears' record?
I mean, that's to me is a glorified running back.
Lamar Jackson, anyone?
A top-notch quarterback should not be rushing for 1,000 yards.
A top-notch quarterback should be throwing for at least 3,000 yards.
Look at how these running quarterbacks are just getting beat up.
Lamar Jackson, anyone?
Well, I'm almost convinced he's not going to be playing for the Ravens next season.
He's going to be playing for the Washington Redskins. I said it, and
Somebody's
I mean
going to pick up that. I know they put him on the non-exclusive tag, so somebody's probably going to give him whatever bid it is.
It's going to be Washington. It's going to be Washington. It's not going to
give the
It's
Ravens,
not going to be Atlanta.
No.
Yep, they're going to give It's going to be. It's not going to be Atlanta because they trust Desmond Ritter. They trust Desmond Ritter. Got about 30 seconds left, but I want you to come on one afternoon for an exclusive conversation. If you're available this afternoon, I'd love to have you for an exclusive conversation about this. I mean, we'll spend an hour on the afternoon show talking about this, but we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Jay Spivey joining us as he does every single Monday, talking all things football and why the Panthers and the Bears messed up royally with this trade. Thank you, Jay. Love you, brother.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
All right, bye.
All right, that's it for me, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and split. I'm going to go ahead and head back in studio. I want to thank the folks here at Starbucks in Columbus, Indiana for hooking the Snowman up with some drinks, hooking the Snowman up with some water, and I will probably get one for the road. But thank you to all our audio affiliates and our video affiliates, including BS3 TV. Go to BS3TV.com and find them on Roku. BS3 TV, changing the way you watch television. And thank you to all of our audio affiliates. This has been a production of Call Me Media Incorporated and Snowman Multimedia LLC. Thank you to the folks in the Fanatics Feedback Zone. We love you. We adore you. I'll be back in studio tomorrow, and I promise I'll start tomorrow on time. I'm sorry I made the decision at the last minute. I figured I'd try it. We'll see what happens. All right, let me get out of here. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We hope y'all are too. We're out of here. See you tomorrow.